Oh man. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, want to make sure everybody in. Everybody is lurking, everybody watching, but for those that are watching, for those that made it in early, welcome. Welcome to the channel, man. Y'all already know who it is, man. Y'all already know my name. And today, coming at you with a video that I found to be quite alarming because there's a lot of questions that's been coming up um, about this upcoming finals. Um, as y'all know, the Indiana Pacers, the Indiana, hold up, damn. Yeah, my bad. I had to answer a phone call, man. Ice, man, what's going on? Shout out to Tip Off, Brooklyn Nets podcast. Yeah, man. I needed something. I wasn't really gonna do the Liberty game today. They was playing Connecticut, who's 1-5. The Liberty is 6-0 right now, so I wasn't really gonna do that game. There was a couple of WNBA games, maybe a couple few this week. The Liberty and the Minnesota Lynx are both undefeated. It seemed like they on another collision course to go back to the finals. Just to have at that just in that basketball. But now that the NBA finals is upon us, we have the matchup. The matchup is set. It's OKC versus Indiana. OKC has been one of the best teams all year long. Indiana, we know what they can do offensively. Um, and to be honest, there's been some rumblings all year about this, I guess, what is now known as the SGA situation or SGA puzzle or OKC puzzle. Um, it's been a lot. It's been a lot that I haven't really gotten to. A lot of us have been distracted by the allure of the Eastern Conference and probably the and how the Eastern Conference is going to turn out. But uh, a lot of focus is going to be on OKC. It's going to be a lot of focus because even more focus than Indiana because the focus on OKC is was the head coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves was quoted saying that it's real frustrating to play that team because they they foul a lot, quote unquote, and you're not allowed to play physical with SGA. That was what was said in a series that ended in 5 games. So I'm wondering to myself, what's really going on and what's really taking place with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And why is everybody is so in rumblings? Because I'll be honest with you, I haven't really paid that like the in depth of Oklahoma City this year. A lot of what I've gathered from them is just basic like okay, they've been beating a lot of teams. They got over 50 something wins by double digits this year. 68 wins on the season. A league best, one of the top 5 best. The net rating, historic best. The defensive rating, historic best. A lot of these things, historic best. SGA has put himself in a conversation that only Michael Jordan, Luca, and I think James Harden is probably the only players that are in terms of the season that he had. He has been awarded MVP for it. But there's something else. Going on, and let's just face it, bro. It's a lot of people that's catching on to the supposed jig. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not here to really clown, because I'm not a OKC detractor. I mean, I'm definitely not that. I mean, I haven't paid attention to OKC enough to be an OKC detractor. They haven't really gotten my attention. The SGA fan base or the OKC fan base, they're not really loud. There's nothing really loud about them. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I guess it is what it is. But I did run into a video. This video by shout out to Hoop Reports. Hoop Reports. Make sure y'all follow Hoop Reports on YouTube.com. I don't even want to go over the title of the video because I think that just the title alone is kind of like what the hell. But I will say that something is going on. Something is going on, and I really want to I really want to get into the video, and I really want to break down the what this video really entails and what it really opens up. And because from this video, a lot of the stuff that I've been saying on other pages, like people is just like trying to ignore, you know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of stuff in this video that I do understand. I do like that stuff that's going to be brought up. And said I really don't care who my man LBL says I really don't care who wins, but it's refreshing to be a first timer, whoever it is. That is true. That is true. And I said the same thing, LB. LB, shout out to LB, man. Make sure y'all go follow him on Twitter at LBL for life. I said the same thing, LB, but as I get closer and closer to this finals, there's something about OKC that people are not quite laser focused on. And I think a lot of people are not really quite laser focused on, but the fact that they're doing good, I guess they just kind of throw it in the back seat, you know what I'm saying? So the reality is that the Oklahoma City Thunder is in the is in the finals, and they've been the best team all year. But the question is how exactly, because there has to be a how to this. You know what I'm saying? Like teams like this don't just do historic shit out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe they do. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, but at the same time, there has to be something building up to get to this point. But in this episode, we break down at least one of the elements of the OKC conundrum, I guess, or the OKC puzzle. And one of the things is the SGA foul situation, as I refer to it as. It's the foul situation. So shout out to Hoop Reports. We're gonna get into this video, man. I'm a large. Well, no. I shouldn't largen it up. I should just maybe I should. I don't know. Maybe I should just play it. You know what I'm saying? Because hopefully I don't get copyrighted for it, man. Shout out to Hoop Reports. He's on YouTube and everything, man. Shout out to him. Hoop Reports has whatchamacallit. So I'm gonna let this video play. I'm gonna let this video play, and then I'm gonna stop it in between and Y'all gonna get a depiction of like what's going on here. He said, LB said, it would really be a tweak to KD if they win without him after he left them stranded. I would love that. I mean, I kind of said the same thing, but I mean, come on, man. I look at it like that was so many years ago, and I think the team that they have now is totally different from what. Like, if it's a tweak to him, then it might as well be a tweak to Russ. It might as well be a tweak to James Harden. It might as well be a tweak to all three of them. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, if they do win, but you know, we'll see. I mean, we will see. So. The Indiana Pacers and Oklahoma City Thunder have the best record since January the 1st. The Indiana Pacers, they have the second best record since January the 1st. So it ought to be a good matchup. I'm actually looking forward to it. But we're gonna find out more about this OKC team and as we go along, because I think we understand. We know as Nets fans, we know a great deal about Indiana. Because of course they've done us a favor last night. So shift what it is, man. We about to get into a very, very alarming video about the SGA foul situation. So let's get started.
The other night, I watched SGA drive downhill, shove his defender with his offhand, hit the shot, and somehow he got the foul call.
He stumbles a bit. Carried that one. SGA with a bit of a lift when he comes up with a chance for a three-point play.
Immediately, we're not even into this video, and I saw something right away. That was alarming. So the beginning of this video starts, and the guys, boom, hold up.
He got the foul call.
He stumbles a bit. Carry that one.
Here we go, right here. So on this play right here, SGA was awarded a foul in the bucket. Now I'm paying attention to J-Mac's arm, but I'm also paying attention to this shit right here. Like, that's damn near hitting a player in the groin, though. It has been done before. We seen somebody on another team in the Eastern Conference do it that just got eliminated last night. We saw that, and we seen it right here, and he's been awarded a foul for it. Boom.
SGA with a bit of a lift when he comes up with a chance for a three-point play.
That's just one of the...
Look at, oh my God. Okay.
millions of times where he's flopped, embellished, manipulated the system, and we all know it.
I feel like Shea is getting this whistle that nobody else in the playoffs is getting.
So there are reports, there are players, there are a lot of people that feel like he getting this whistle that nobody else is getting. Love, what's going on? What's going on, Love? So this video is gonna get good, man. Y'all keep watching.
Then he got 9 free throws in the first quarter. A lot for one player.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is treated by the refs as if he's playing by a different set of rules.
Now, I don't like this dude at all. Like, period, bro. Like, I think he's a total idiot. But at the same time, man, we can't ignore that something is going on, bro, with this SGA situation. But I'm gonna keep going, man. Let's get back to the video.
What frustrates everyone is the fact that the other players don't get these calls. They get hacked, slammed, ignored. And the strangest part, the NBA didn't just watch this happen. They rewarded it with an MVP trophy. So now I'm asking the question every real NBA fan should be asking. What's really going on here?
And that's the question that we've come on to. What's going on, love? What's really going on here with this SGA situation? Said Nick Wright got a nerve. They do the same thing for his king. They do. I mean, listen. I'm not here to argue that, man. I'm the last person that would fight for anything pro LeBron James, bro. I mean, but at the same time, LeBron James is 6'8", 260-something pounds. I mean, we have seen LeBron do some real scandalous shit on the basketball court. I'm not here going to argue with him, but let's be real. LeBron at age 26 and SGA at 26 is two different things. I'm gonna just leave it at that. So, I mean, I'm the last person to argue for LeBron, but it is what it is. But so that's the question, though. What's really going on here?
Well,
okay.
To answer that one simple question, I did my homework.
Okay. All right. So let me stop the video again. Because on this
to
foul,
answer that one simple
clear. Listen, you told stay on your feet. Now those calls, you could call that foul baiting. You could call that looking for the foul and not even playing to get a bucket, but looking for the foul. But you told to stay on your feet. I gotta defend this right here. You are told to stay on your feet in this situation. You told to stay on your feet. You know what I'm saying? Always, especially when you're looking at the scouting report and somebody likes to pump fake. You told to stay on your feet. So that particular one, that's Jaren Jackson Jr. for it.
Question. I did my homework.
That's
spent hours.
Okay. So Scottie Pippen Jr. reaches the hand out. They don't call it here. The referees
watching film.
He's driving. The off arm is used.
Dug through the numbers
But
and then looked even deeper at what those numbers might be hiding. And what I found tells a story that nobody ever really talks about.
So in this video, and I have watched it before this, bro. In this particular video, LB says Brunson gets a lot of those calls though. Those two calls last night for the New York kneecappers were horrendous. It says so he needs to hush it. If it's good for him, then it's good for other players. That's a fact, though. That's a fact, love. You're absolutely right. But yeah, LB, yeah, you're right. You're right about that. I was watching it. Listen, they I ain't gonna lie. They look like they was trying to. We gonna lose this game, but we gonna take somebody with us. They was on that type of mentality last night. But particularly in this video, and I looked at this video before I uploaded it. I'm just going over it again. It kind of highlights how numbers tends to hide certain shit that we're not really paying laser focused attention to. It tends to hide shit. So that's what we gonna find out in this video. We're gonna find it. We're gonna get very educated in this one right here. So I'm gonna fast forward through the whatchamacallit part. I'm gonna fast forward through that part, bro. I'm gonna fast forward through that.
It's completely back.
Here we go.
I like SGA. He's a family team first kind of guy. Focused, grounded, and never one to get caught up in drama or distractions. He carries himself with poise and leads the NBA's top team with the maturity of a true pro. And when it comes to pure skills, he's one of the best
That's an
in the
injury
league.
waiting to happen. Too much of that's an injuries waiting to happen.
But with all that being said, however, every time I watch him play, I feel the same frustration fans do.
Okay. I know y'all just saw what I just saw. Hold up.
Every
Check this
time I watch him
He jumps
play, I feel the same.
into. Okay. All right. Okay. He said, I think a lot of mainstream media don't like the fact that he's not American. That could be true. That could very well be true. Let's face it, Tyrese Halliburton is from here. I mean, not to look at Tyrese Halliburton like that, but he is the face of the Indiana Pacers right now. I mean, there could be something brewing in that. There could be something cooking in that. So this might be one of those. I don't know, man. Like this series got a little bit more storylines than people think.
Frustration fans do.
So, as you just saw, SGA jumped into the guy. What the fuck?
Shea is.
I'm gonna let that shit for me. So, one dude says 5 days ago, Shea is painful to watch.
Painful to watch. He's really making the Thunder unwatchable, and now the Western Conference Finals is unwatchable. I mean, seriously, what the f is even the point of watching? Meanwhile, Silver is scratching his head as to why viewership is down.
Meanwhile, Silver is scratching his head as to why viewership is down. This is quite an interesting video, y'all, man. I mean, this is crazy. Say, yeah, the PG storyline for this series is low key insane. I wasn't looking at the PG storyline. Well, I wasn't looking at it as the PG storyline, but I'm more so looking at it as the is the NBA media is the NBA along with the NBA media over the foreign players, the foreign superstars in this league. I think this series is probably gonna answer those questions. It could. I mean, I personally, on paper, I think OKC should win this series hand over fist, but maybe they shouldn't. Maybe not. We're gonna learn a lot about this. We're gonna learn a lot about this Indiana OKC series when it starts. That's what we will do. We're gonna learn a lot about this when it starts. Said they act like they're not used to this. They just don't want that young man to shine. Go get your championship, SGA. I mean, hey, listen, it don't bother me none who wins or loses this. But I will say, Love, it's probably gonna be more of a storyline if OKC loses this, as opposed to Indiana winning. Indiana winning or losing, I don't think it's gonna be like a real like it's not gonna be a Hoosiers moment like one of those 1980s type movies. The American-born player beats the Canadian player, bro. We need to take back our country. Even though it may be portrayed that way, but at the same time, who knows, man? Like I don't know. I can't. It's not really for me to say. He said, "Dang, so you think the Thunder not gonna win this series?" No, I think the Thunder is gonna win this series. But if they just so happen to lose, we gotta admit, bro, like this storyline gonna be crazy. For them to lose, if they somehow lose this, like, man, yo, I'm telling you, bro, like, oh man, the headline's gonna be crazy. The headline's gonna be crazy. They're gonna be screaming curse and this, that, the third, all of that. LBL says Silver loves how the game is now. He doesn't like physical athleticism. The love that Neesmith has been going over screens. Most teams don't teach that because of how the game is refereed, is refed. I could agree with that. I could definitely agree with that. I mean, I think going over screens as a guard, as a wing defender, is something that you got to be, you got to be comfortable with, in today's NBA. You know what I'm saying? You definitely got to be comfortable with guarding the guards in this league that, can get favorable calls. And let's face it, the Indiana Pacers, they survived a series in where the Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson, let's face it, they get to the line. They get to the bat. They force their way in the paint. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, not to say that they can or can't survive anything that SGA is throwing, or they will will survive it, because I think OKC is going to win a series. However, I think there's a different element, and us telling half the story with what's going on with OKC. And I'm going to get to the other side of this, because right now we're just covering the SGA portion of this and how he's officiated. So let's get back to the video.
The internet is actually blowing up over this, and I don't blame them. Take this play, for example.
A lot of comments.
SGA clearly...
Okay, hold on. Wait. Let's go back.
Take this play, for example.
Okay. SGA is over the screen, which Nickeil Alexander, his cousin, has to fight over. Already by him. And he uses the offhand steal.
SGA clearly trips over himself, but somehow the refs still blow the whistle.
It's usually just one person trying on shoes.
Discover doubles your cash back at the end of your first year, so I'm going to use mine to get something from my beautiful stunt double.
I don't know if that's a foul. I think he lost his balance.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Check that out on replay.
That's wild.
Look at this one.
Okay, Russ falls.
Where he jumps, flails his legs midair.
No,
and gets
what the hell?
The call. This was so egregious that every Nugget on the floor threw their hands up in disbelief. And just look at Jamal here, trying to explain to the ref what actually happened. Now
Jamal Murray, who plays on the same Canadian team as he does in the off season, he ought to know. So I mean, he has to know SGA's tendencies. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter who wins to me. I picked young teams going to the finals because they're playing hard, especially OKC, and I was told that it wasn't going to happen. I'm good either way. LOL. I feel you, love, but it's just alarming that it's just a lot of the focus is going to be on like the backlash of like the foul thing with SGA. But I'm gonna get more into this video, man. Let's go over this play right here. So OKC is up 3-0. They playing in Memphis. Let's see this.
Look at this one.
He moves him out the way.
Literally jumps sideways into his defender and gets the call. It's unbelievable. Game after game on the big.
Okay, that might have been a foul. That Zach Edey one might have been a foul.
It's unbelievable. Game after game on the
land of space.
Biggest stages in basketball. We're watching someone manipulate the system to such a degree that he becomes unguardable.
And with the calls that Shai gets, it's hard. It's hard to shut him down. You can't touch him at any time of the game.
No one's saying Shai Gilgeous-Alexander isn't a great player. But when your most effective weapon is getting to the line, yeah, people are going to start talking.
It's so frustrating to play this team because they foul a ton. And then, you can't really touch Shai.
So Chris Finch, the coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves, he says it's so frustrating to play this team because they foul a ton. That's one. We ain't even get to the part about their defense. They top-notch defense. So I'm looking at what you're showing, and the biggest difference is the refs are trained to give the star player on offense the benefit of the doubt. I mean that, yeah. I mean, I say that, but Love says because they don't want him to win, nothing new. He must be a threat or something to something. I was saying the same thing, like a lot of times, but this is why we dive in the video. It says Shea, just unguardable, literally. I would say, I mean, that's one way of saying it. But if we're gonna say that, can we say the same thing for Jalen Brunson? Can we say the same thing for him, who just got eliminated by Indiana? So I mean, can we? I mean, so LBL, yup. That's always been the case. But it's okay when it's the player they want to have it. They don't want him to have it. That's definitely a true statement as well. Said frustrates me because he should be getting into the paint way more than he does. But instead he takes those stupid threes, letting defenses off the hook. That's a fact, LBL. But at the same time, when you playing on the same court with Rudy Gobert, who's usually occupying the paint, it's kind of hard to do, bro. I guarantee if he was playing in a space and pace offense, like if he was playing with Indiana, that should be a no-brainer. He'd be living inside the 3-point line. So I think it's more so to do with how they team is constructed on that front. But listen to what Chris Finch has to say about playing the OKC Thunder.
People are going to start talking.
It's so frustrating to play this team because they foul a ton. And then, you can't really touch Shea.
If the calls were the same on both ends, fine. That's fair. But the truth is, other players don't get the same treatment. I mean, just look at Ant here. He's getting bumped on the drive, hit at the rim on the way up, and still no whistle. Or check out this play. Edwards takes contact on the way to the rim. Then SGA puts both hands on him as he goes up. But again, there's no whistle.
Basket, no whistle.
And don't even get me started on Steph Curry.
Oh, boy.
He's been getting tossed around all season like it's part NFL, part NHL. And still can't buy a trip to the line.
See that. All right.
I know
now,
this is
when we get to okay. All right. See this is the part of the video where I cringe, because once you start bringing up Steph, this is nothing but fandom shit. Like that's what it really is, bro. Like if we got to go to Steph to play, I think this is a very, very bad point. I think Ant-Man was a good enough point for me, and yeah. So I mean, she said that gets on my nerves. But let's watch the rest of this, man. We only 6 minutes in. Man.
Just a small sample, but this is exactly what we're seeing night after night. Now, the real question is, do the numbers actually back up the eye test? Is there solid data to support what we're seeing?
So the question is do the numbers back up all of this quote unquote foul baiting that's going on? And a lot of people actually debunked it because the numbers don't add it up. I mean, let's face it, ESPN, they probably went straight to the numbers. He's not, come on, there's no foul baiting going on, I said whatever. So I mean, we gonna see. We're gonna see. So LBS said I think it's LeBron, Curry, and KD rubbing off on him from the Olympics. Ever since playing with them, Ant's been more finesse than physical. They probably told him it would prolong his career. That is definitely a point, Love. But let's get back to this video. said what the numbers reveal. Okay.
In the 2025 postseason, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is averaging 9 free throws per game. But honestly, given the playoff landscape, that number doesn't.
Okay, all right. So the free throws per game in this postseason. Now, this number here, we don't have a problem with. And why is that? Because we know Giannis is going to go to the basket. So we don't have a problem. We don't have a problem with that 13 number right there. We don't. We do not have a problem with this 13 number. Donovan Mitchell at 10. Luka is about 6'7", 240, 50 something pounds. We don't really have a problem with that because these dudes are going to the basket with aggression. And we know that, and they have the physicality to do so. So let's keep moving on to the video, bro. Because I don't want to dig too deep into it, but we know Giannis is gonna get to the front free throw line at least 10 plus times.
Doesn't sound all that outrageous. So, if this is the case, why does he have nicknames like Free Throw Merchant or Foul Artist? Well, let's dig deeper.
That's a foul.
For the 2025 playoffs, SGA is taking 16 shots from inside the arc, where
This brilliant device keeps your home cool in summer, even during heat waves and power outages. It's smaller than a lunchbox.
defenders are most called for fouls. Now, let's compare him to 4 other superstar guards: Anthony Edwards, Steph Curry, Jalen Brunson, and Tyrese Halliburton. At first glance,
Brunson is pretty close.
They get to the line less than SGA.
And takes a lot of
at the
threes.
same time, they just don't take as many shots inside the arc.
Tyrese Halliburton is a
So
playmaker.
here's the
Here's the $1 million
question. What if they did? Well, let's normalize everything here. If every player took 16 shots inside the arc, just like SGA, meaning we ignore threes and focus strictly on the areas where fouls are most often called, here's what the numbers reveal.
Y'all let me know in the chat if y'all can hear this.
Yeah. So, if we're strictly going by the numbers, the foul calls for Shai don't look all that outrageous. In fact, they seem pretty reasonable. It just looks like he attacks the paint more. Even if you dig into other numbers, like how his free throws stack up against past MVPs or advanced.
So these are MVPs 2-point field goal attempts versus free throw attempts. So everything that they're taking inside the 3-point line, these are the MVPs in the last all the way from Derrick Rose all the way to SGA that has been doing that. You know what I'm saying? So let's take a look at the footage.
Advanced stats like drives per game, it all points to the same thing. He's not getting more favorable treatment than other high-volume foul drawers.
Yeah, that shit was ridiculous.
So, wait. Does this end the conversation? Does this mean the free throw merchant label is totally unfair? Just a side effect of how much Shai attacks the paint? Do we owe SGA an apology? Did we slander the man for no reason? Should everyone who called him a free throw merchant maybe write a little sorry bro in the group chat? Well,
I ain't gonna lie. This is a hell of a quote. And for anybody that's watching my video, I want y'all to just stay cute on that quote. The slickest lies are dressed in numbers. The slickest lies are dressed in numbers. Y'all gonna like this one.
In 1954, Daryl Huff published one of the best-selling stats books of all time. It was called How to Lie with Statistics.
Daryl Huff wrote a book called How to Lie with Statistics. Crazy. One of the best-selling books of its time. Probably ever. Let's go on.
Statistics. And it didn't just sell copies. it sold strategies. And the very first lesson in the book, averages can be manipulated like crazy.
Averages can be manipulated like crazy.
Which brings us to SGA. Now, this isn't a fact, just a theory, a possibility. But stick with me, and you'll see how deep the rabbit hole might go. One of the easiest ways to manipulate averages, especially free throw averages, is to skew the numbers. Here's what I mean. Don't give players free throws in blowouts where the calls aren't needed.
Boom. Here we go. Here we go. BT, you see what I'm saying? Don't, he's heard what the man just said. Don't, here's how if you wanted to skew the numbers and skew the averages, here's how you do it. Don't give the player the free throws in the games that are not needed. Now, look at the score to these first two games. These are the first two games of the postseason. 131-80, 118-99. Look at the free throw count. You see what I'm saying? It gets better. Hold up.
But in close games, give them every whistle and make them untouchable.
Damn.
Those quiet blowout games bring down his average. So when you glance,
right. He said, "Oh shit, it's getting good now, ain't it?" Yeah, it is. So notice how those quiet free throw games, those bring the averages down. So when you look at and so when people go straight to the averages, they look at it and they be like, "Wait a minute. So he didn't get those in the blowout games, but in the games that's close." In that particular game 3, and y'all all remember that game 3 where they was getting blown out. Somehow, some way, he got 13 free throws. Okay. So this is OKC schedule in wins and losses the entire year. A lot more wins than a lot more wins, very few losses. So they've been beating the shit out of teams all year by double digits. So this doesn't really tell a whole story. I'm going to find a video about I'm going to do a video about the OKC quote unquote best defense shit.
Glance at the overall averages, it all looks fair, balanced, reasonable.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying this is what's definitely happening, but it's one clear example of how numbers can lie. Another trick Huff points out, a big one, is called bias by omission. Now, here's what that looks like. In the 2025 regular season alone, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 7 games with 15 or more free throws.
So check this out. OKC has been beating teams by record. Adar SGA plays for Canada. Of course he does. We all know that. So these are 7 games in this entire season where he shot 15 or more free throws. Look at the scores to some of these games. The Houston game is a double-digit win. The Memphis game is a double-digit win. The Washington game is a double-digit win. Blew them out. Everything else, single digits. Everything else down the wire. So it's a little bit different in terms of the regular season to the playoff games that we looked at. You came in late, Adar. I'm glad you're here. I don't want to rewind the video, but stay tuned. We are undercovering this whole SGA foul merchant thing. I'm using quote unquote because this video is pretty interesting, but just continue on. Take a look. So these are 7 games where he had over 15 or more free throws in a season.
Now, let's look at Steph Curry.
Oh boy.
A guy who gets hacked, bumped, grabbed, shoved, off ball, on ball, every single game. Now, guess how many 15-plus free throw games he's had? Not in 2025, not over the last few seasons, across his entire 16-year career. Take a guess. 20? Nope. 10. Try again. 7. Still wrong. The answer is 3. Let that sink in. SGA doubled Steph's 16 years.
Here's the problem with that logic. The problem with that logic is that what SGA is getting is shooting fouls. If you're going to call those fouls on Steph, those are regular fouls. If you're calling those fouls on Steph, he's not getting to the free throw line. Those are regular fouls to stop the ball, to stop the game. So it looks like the high free throw games make the spread closer. Yeah. The high free throw games mostly come when OKC is in trouble. Pay attention, it gets better. Because the Steph Curry shit, I don't really care about. I don't really care about this. I really don't even care about this. Steph Curry's highest free throw games per season. Yeah, whatever.
Year career total of 15-plus free throw games in just one season. The stats won't show what isn't called, because if the whistle never blows, it's never recorded.
Right.
And this is what's called bias by omission. Now, I get it. Some of you are probably thinking, all right, interesting theory, but there's no hard proof that this is happening with Shai. This just sounds like another wild conspiracy. Fair enough, innocent until proven guilty, right? That's how it works in courtrooms. You need hard evidence, clear facts, undeniable proof, something you can observe, verify, and lay out without question. But here's the other side of that coin.
Scary truth revealed. Here we go.
Let me ask you something.
The scary truth revealed. We're going to get right to the answers to all of this. Yes, we are. Oh, yeah. We're going to get right to the answers. We're going to get right down to the nitty gritty. Let's go.
Let me ask you something. Suppose the basketball gods told you it was true, that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is, in fact, gaming the system, or that the NBA is actually giving him a boost, helping him rack up more free throws than he really deserves. Now, it's on you to prove it. But how would you even start? What would actual proof even look like? Well, I thought long and hard about it. And honestly, there are only a few ways you could prove it. But the truth is, every one of them is basically impossible. I mean, first, there's option 1. The NBA comes out and flat out admits they're influencing calls to help SGA. But let's be real, that's never going to happen. So that brings us to option 2. You'd have to track every single call and every missed one in every single game. But let's be honest, that kind of analysis is impossible right now.
No, it ain't.
Then, like I already showed, even if you dive deep into advanced statistics, we've already seen how numbers can be skewed and how bias by omission warps the picture.
So he basically broke down the 3 ways that you could prove the NBA is boosting SGA. Is boosting the SGA free throw numbers or whatever. So the numbers, he already X'd that out. The NBA admits it, that he already X'd that out. Track everything you can actually do. And I, for one, can show you how you do it. And I'm going to get to that later on in the video. But I got to go. I'm going to have to go in a minute, so I'm going to have to wrap this video up. I'm going to just let y'all look at the last 2 minutes.
So, like I said, getting absolute proof is pretty much impossible. So, does that mean we're left with nothing? No evidence? No case? Just the fact that he moves well, sells contact, and somehow keeps getting to the line? Well, not exactly either. Let's take a look at what we do have. Points 1 and 2 are pretty clear. I've already touched on those, so let's jump straight to number 3. And that's the fact that the NBA has always built its brand on faces. And now, with LeBron, Steph, and KD aging out, the league needs its next star. And SGA? Well, for starters, he's got a Kobe-like game, and beyond that, he checks all the boxes. He fits the mold almost perfectly. Points 4 and 5 edge into conspiracy territory, but they're compelling and have ignited some of the biggest debates in NBA circles. So no, there's no clear-cut evidence, nothing you can take into a courtroom and say, look, this is undeniable proof that SGA's cheating, or that the NBA is giving him special treatment. But the breadcrumbs are everywhere, plenty of them. And let's be honest, shady stuff happens in the NBA all the time. But honestly, this isn't just about basketball. It's a reminder for all of us. In life, we're constantly being fed polished narratives. But the truth is, people lie. Data gets manipulated. And while we wait around for some official explanation, the real answer is often right there, hiding in plain sight. Learning to ask better questions, to look beyond the numbers, to understand the intent behind what we're being shown. That's a skill we all need in today's world. But if we blindly trust the headline, the highlight, or the stat sheet, we miss what really matters. So, to answer the question, is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander actually cheating the system or getting help from the NBA? Well, I'll leave you with 2 thoughts about this. 1, sometimes what you see is more real than what you can prove. And 2, SGA isn't exactly doing himself any favors. 2, sometimes what you see is more real than what you can prove.
Sometimes what you see is more real than what you can prove. So you have to DVR every game and put film breakdown. So not many people will do that. So you also going versus billionaires. They will come hard after you. So OKC has a deep team where SGA can expose weak links. What he successfully does, not to say he ain't top 5 player today. NBA always manipulated narrative with refs, reason why they never get punishment. These are all facts. These are all facts.
And 2, SGA isn't exactly doing himself any favors. Isn't real about that. You can prove.
So, in partisan, bro, like, I mean, look, this was an interesting video to me, just off the strength of that somebody, this all like with the internet and everything that's going on it on YouTube and how you can upload these videos, is just that everybody understands that there is something going on. We understand there's something going on, but 90% of the time you can't prove it. You can't. Like, it's a plausible deniability, you know what I'm saying? That type of shit, or whatever they call it. But I will leave you with this. Sometimes what you see is more real than what you can prove. That's also it, man. I appreciate everybody coming up in here, man. Make sure you hit the like, share, subscribe button. I'm gonna try to make more of these videos, man, because it really taps into the psyche of what we're looking for and what we can actually prove. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Adar, shout out to everybody in the chat, shout out to Love. Mrs. The Realist. I ain't know you was married, love, but I only messing with you. But I'll see y'all later, man.